Ever felt like your life completely fell apart right when it was supposed to be coming together? Well, that was me again at 33. But what if I told you that rock bottom is where I found my strength? I know we're told to have it all figured out by our 30s, the career, the marriage, children. But what happens when life throws you a curveball and everything crashes down? Well, let me flip the script. Starting over at 33 wasn't the end of my story. It was actually the beginning. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how I went from completely lost to rebuilding my life, finding my voice again, and taking my power back. If you're ready to rewrite your story and finally feel confident about your next chapter, well, you're in the right place. I found myself starting over, not once, but twice by the age of 33. Hi, I'm Kimberley. Thanks for watching today. I'm sharing a piece of me in hopes of healing a piece of you. My childhood friend was also my first love, my sweetheart. We made plans to spend the rest of our lives together. Even though we were just kids and we were young, we had big dreams of having a family, a home, a future that we could share and build together. But God had a different plan. At 18, tragedy struck. Without warning, he was taken from me in a terrible accident. His death made me feel like I had died too. Every morning, I woke up with this terrible emptiness inside. I didn't exactly know what to do, how to move forward. How do you start over when you're still in shock? People around me said things to me like, "You're young, you'll find somebody else." But those words did not ease my pain. If anything, they made it even worse. Eventually, I did enter a new relationship. Even though there were red flags and I still was grieving and more or less was still in a fog, trying to find my way back to some kind of normal. That relationship gave me two beautiful children, my son and my daughter. They actually saved me. They gave me a purpose. They gave my soul a reason to live. Their love brought my heart back to life again. But that relationship didn't last. Even though I gave it my all, I had to realize that my all wasn't going to be enough. You don't realize how strong you are until strong is the only option you've got. At 33, my marriage ended, and the version of myself that I thought I was supposed to be no longer existed. I felt frustrated, felt unheard, I felt ashamed, confused, and even somewhat humiliated, like I had failed. I remember waking up one morning thinking to myself, this isn't the life I signed up for. I was supposed to be thriving. Instead, I was in survival mode. I didn't see the red flags. I was naive. It takes two people to save a relationship. And I realized I was completely alone. I poured myself into my career, and that didn't really pour back anything into me. Worst of all, I stopped listening to myself. That moment when I had nothing left, that was my turning point. Because sometimes breakdown is the beginning of the breakthrough. That's where my personal growth began. And if you are crumbling right now, I really want to take this moment to tell you, even though it's hard right now, it will be okay. You're not broken. You're just about to start rebuilding. Starting over might feel like defeat, but it's where your power lies. One day, you'll look back and see you made it through, and you're better because of it. Even though the people around me helped me through it without even really knowing what I was going through, at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you but you. You are enough to save yourself. When I hit that low point, I had to make a choice. I wasn't going to stay down. I decided to bet on me. Not a title, not a partner, not anyone else's expectations of me. At first, the fear was real. I didn't know what was coming next. I had no backup plan. So I asked myself, who am I without all these labels? That's when the true healing began for me. I started journaling, meditating, listening to music, walking, exercising, doing whatever made me happy. For the first time in a really long time, I started to make myself a priority, gave myself permission to grow. And my children, what can I say? They gave me my strength. Their little faces reminded me every day, every moment, I had to keep going. Because after all, they only had me. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to believe you deserve better. And you do. And take one small step toward it. Your comeback doesn't have to be loud, just has to be yours. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No one teaches you how to rebuild your confidence after you feel like you've been a failure. For me, taking my power back meant setting boundaries. Boundaries I had never had the courage to set before. It meant no longer shrinking myself to please someone else, to make them comfortable. It meant choosing me, even when it was hard. And the most important thing I didn't let myself stay stuck. I showed up for myself, for my children, every single day. And I told myself, I deserve it. We deserved it as a family. Yes, feel your feelings, but don't let them stop you from showing up in the life that you deserve. Never let someone else steal the happiness that's yours. I started therapy. I joined a support group. I wrote down my non-negotiables, things I would never, ever tolerate again, and celebrated my small wins, simple things like coming home, cooking a meal in peace, saying no without guilt, wearing clothes that made me feel good about me. Those weren't just tasks, they were actually declarations for me. If you're asking how to take back your power, well, start by asking, what have I been giving away? Then, piece by piece, take it back. Take back your voice. Take back your time. Give yourself peace of mind. Who says you can't start over? Reinvention is not just a buzzword. It's a decision. It's your decision to make. I wasn't who I wanted to be at 33, so I started becoming her. I explored my passions that I'd been ignoring. I read books on emotional healing, financial freedom. I deleted toxic contacts, made decisions that brought me joy. And most of all, I changed my inner story from it's too late to now is the perfect time. And from I'm behind to I'm exactly where I need to be. Reinventing your life isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving you can count on you. Even if the last chapter ended in tears, you get to write the next one. And trust me, it really is going to be okay for you. Here's what life after divorce taught me. The end of one chapter doesn't mean the end of your story. Divorce feels like walking through a fog, but that fog eventually lifts. When you begin to trust yourself again, you'll see grief and growth often walk hand in hand. There were nights I asked, can I really do this alone? But day by day, I rebuilt my life again. I created new routines, and I found my new joy. I rediscovered my worth, not as someone's wife, but as me. I made new dreams, dreams that had nothing to do fitting into someone else's expectations of me. I traveled, I healed, I found my inner peace. And only when I was whole and happy did I meet and marry my now husband, who's also my best friend. You had to show up for you before you can show up for someone else. Learning to love yourself is a gift to everyone who loves you. Divorce doesn't make you a failure. It makes you brave. If you're in that chapter of your life right now, hold on. It gets better. It does get brighter. And on the other side of that pain, you will find your peace. You can absolutely start over, whether you're 18, 33, 43, 63. It's not too late to take your power back. It's not too late to rebuild your life. And you are never alone. And your best chapter might just be the one you haven't written yet. If this video speaks to you, please like and share it with someone who needs to hear that it's never too late to start over. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you're going to take back today? Thanks so much for watching my video. And remember, I always tell you, you really are not alone. Go find your joy. And please, watch my next video